Hey Shatling, I come to you once again in natural lighting. I hope this isn't too much of a shock to you. Recently, I've been learning a lot about taking things personally and the cognitive distortions that are at play that cause somebody to become offended and to easily slip into a negative mindset when offense may not have been intended. And my brain immediately took this concept and applied it to the one thing that I always come back to in the realm of psychology, which is, do you know? It's autism. Of course, I look at this and I think, how does it relate to autism? Would an autistic person be more likely to become offended by something, to take something personally, to feel more negatively about something than the average person? And the answer is yes, which didn't surprise me at all, but it did seem very fascinating to me. And I want to outline the reasons behind this, and I also want to outline how it can be managed. Official Keewi announcement. I am not a professional. I am a drooling homunculus on the internet, and this is basically an opinion piece. Take it with a grain of salt. So taking things personally is a modern form of the fight or flight response. You're basically activating that survival instinct saying, oh no, I'm being attacked. This doesn't feel good. I need to put up walls to defend myself. I need to victimize myself and pretend that the other person is the evil one, the bad one, the jerk, or whatever, and put myself into the place of a victim so that I can feel that nice self-righteousness, right? There is a negative stimulus, or a stimulus that you interpret as negative, okay? For example, this is the example that I always go back to because I deal with it all the time. Imagine you're driving on the street and somebody speeds ahead of you and goes right in front of you and then just like speeds ahead. Maybe they even honk as they're passing by. I would immediately think, oh my gosh, that person is so rude. Like, why did they do that? That person's probably mad at me, and they're probably a jerk. I would immediately jump to all those conclusions. But realistically speaking, do I have any evidence of that? No. Maybe they're late for work, they're in a huge hurry, they have an important meeting that they're late to, they're stressing out, they just needed to get ahead of you. Maybe they were already having a bad day, and that caused them to honk at you. But it has nothing to do with your driving. It's more they're already experiencing a lot of hardship in their day, and that caused them to act out. So this example kind of illustrates what I'm talking about when it comes to taking things personally. There is a stimulus that could be negative. It could just be an unfortunate happening, an unfortunate coincidence, such as somebody being late for a meeting and therefore speeding around you. Or maybe that person is actually angry at you, but do you have any way of knowing that? No. So this is where it becomes important to look at how you are interpreting that event and how it benefits you. Interpreting somebody speeding around you as an act of malice is more likely to make you upset, make you stressed, make you think, oh no, they're mad at me, maybe I suck at driving, oh but it's their fault because they're a jerk and I'm the victim. And it may lead to spiraling, but if you tell yourself, they could just be late, you know, maybe they're having a really bad day and they're late for something and they had to speed around me, then you are more likely to feel fine. Just brush it aside. And I think there's a lot of power in that, and it's oftentimes good for both parties to not automatically assume the worst. Now, what does this have to do with autism? Now that we have the background, the lore, the introduction, yes, I have notes. That's why you hear the pages flipping, and that's why you see me constantly looking down. It's because I took notes on this. How does this have to do with autism? Autistic people are more likely to take things personally. They are more likely to become personally offended when they are faced with a stimulus that they interpret as negative. And they're also more likely to interpret that stimulus as negative. Why is this? One reason is because autistic people struggle with emotional regulation, okay? If somebody speeds around you and you feel stressed, an autistic person may be less capable of smoothly processing that emotion and just moving on. It may linger with them for longer. That thought, that emotion, it might perseverate, it might stick in their brain for a while. Maybe due to their upbringing, due to social differences and these emotional processing issues, an autistic person may learn a pattern of, oh, this person's mad at me, oh, this person's upset at me. And due to repeated negative experiences of social shortcomings, of emotional issues due to autism during their upbringing, someone with autism might learn this pattern of, oh, they're probably upset. Oh, I probably did something wrong. Oh, this is probably bad, just because it's happened so many times. Another reason why autistic people may be more likely to take offense due to something is because they often think in black and white terms. So rather than thinking, oh, maybe it's somewhere in the middle, you know, maybe my driving was a little bit bad, or at the same time they're also having a bad day and that combination just wasn't great and it led to them honking at me. An autistic person may be more likely to think, oh, I'm either the victim or I'm terrible and I'm bad at driving. So maybe they stick to one story, one side of the spectrum, and they say, oh, that person's a jerk and I did nothing wrong. And then they spiral worrying about that. Or on the flip side, maybe they worry, oh my gosh, my driving is horrible. I did something wrong, it's all my fault, and now I'm stressed because I'm worried about my driving. It's black and white thinking. I just did the 6-7 hands. Okay. The black and white thinking helps contribute to this unfortunate thought pattern of taking things seriously. Now, how to cease this pattern of taking things seriously? You will always want to slow down and take a breath, okay? If you're driving and somebody speeds around you, you know, the same old example, instead of immediately going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, they're mad at me, or I suck, or you know, slow down, take a breath, let the emotion pass through you. If you're feeling stressed, just let it happen. There's no need to act quickly. Take a deep breath, take some time, let the heat of the moment pass. Okay. After that, check your story, okay? Do you have any actual evidence that this person is mad at you? Do you have any actual evidence that your negative interpretation is correct? Do you have any evidence that that driver was actually really mad at you and that's why they sped around you? And you just suck at driving and they're angry and they're evil? Do you have any evidence of that? Chances are you don't. Another thing that's helpful is to focus on what you can control instead of worrying about, oh my gosh, the other person did this, they did this, they did this, they're evil, they're mean to me, they treated me wrongly. Focus on yourself. Look inward. Are you a bad driver? Maybe you kind of suck at driving. Maybe you weren't using your blinkers and they were irritated at that. Maybe I could use my blinkers then, all right? Or if you think you're a perfectly fine driver, then it's outside my control. It's not my problem. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was using my blinkers, I was driving just fine. And it's probably due to some internal struggle of this person. And you don't have to worry about that because that is something that they're struggling with. They are projecting their troubles onto you. They're having a bad day. That's unfortunate. And, unfortunately, you got caught in the crossfire and you became a target of their negative emotion. But that's outside your control, which is liberating. You don't have to worry about it. It's not you, it's them. Thanks for coming to my autistic psychological rant. I love doing this. It's been way too long since I've done one of these. I hope you enjoyed it, twin. All right? Make sure to take care of yourself and be kind to yourself and follow my Twitch. Okay? Okay. Bye, twin.